Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Thanos.
It is Thanos.
Now, this review shouldn't take too long. This is essentially a reissue of the Build-A-Figure that came out a few years ago. A few years ago? Has it been that long? Jesus. But there are some changes here. There's some color changes, there's a couple of extra accessories, but really, it's just, here's this, different color. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on. Looking at the package, it's the same as every other Marvel Legends we've bought in the past, 400, 500, 600 years? Same shape box, big window showing most of what's in here. Now, Thanos is a big boy, so he kind of goes behind the logo down here, but you could still see most of what's down there. On the side, I really like this picture. I don't know, it just shows the figure we're getting, which isn't really classic, but just makes him badass. It makes me want to open this even more, which is part of this review. On the back, pretty promotional shot, bio for Thanos. Down here we have the warnings, the unreadables, probably says something like, do not piss this figure off, or half the figures in your collection will fall from the shelf. On the other side, same badass picture. On the top, nice logo looking artwork for the Infinity Gauntlet. On the bottom, legalese barcode. But I'm gonna get this out of the package and see if I like this one better than the old one. And there we go, all out of the package, and there's not much to say about the sculpt here. It's that modern look. I don't know how modern. I don't know if he's wearing this in the comics right now, but I know it was at some point in the modern age. But this figure has more of a classic color to it compared to the Build-A-Figure. The Build-A-Figure was dark. This one's brighter. The yellows, the blues, it just pops a lot more. And it actually has extra paint apps compared to the old one. There's a lot more silver, especially on the arms. They run it on the lines that are sculpted into the arm. It just brings out that detail a lot more. And then the blue costume itself isn't paint. It's actually the swirly twirly plastic. It comes off as a little bit metalish, but it also comes across a little bit ethereal. You look at it, and it's cloudy, it swirls, it's almost cosmic-like. And then the head, again, same sculpt, and while they went brighter with the blues and the golds, they actually went darker with the skin tone on Thanos. With the wash of black, it's actually a little bit muddy, it's hard to see detail. I would have liked to have seen a brighter purplish color dry brushed on top of this, and that's what I may end up doing at some point. But they did make the eyes a brighter blue, and in pictures they look a little bit pearlescent, they glow a little bit, but looking at it in person, it just looks like a light baby blue. And that, along with the gold on the brow, the paint's a little bit sloppy, so I can't really like it as much as I want to, but it's still a damn fine looking head. Like I said, they followed the lines in the sculpt here with silver, and it's a little bit sloppy. You can see they missed right there. And then we have the silver on the legs, which follows some kind of segmented metal look. We saw this on the original, but it makes me kind of wish that there was silver on the torso somewhere, following the lines of the armor or something. I don't know, it just makes the torso look a little bit naked. But I love the addition of the Infinity Gauntlet here. They have all the gems painted in, well, kind of a metallic color, but they stand out against the goldish of the glove. Now in the pictures, you'll probably notice that half the time I have the wrist guard or the gauntlet piece flipped around the wrong way. That's just how it came out of the package. I didn't even see it until after pictures were taken. That goes to the outside. It's kind of harder to tell on the Infinity Gauntlet side, but there is an inside and an outside. This kind of comes down, and it covers the green gem a little bit, but if you kind of rotate it out, it looks okay. Now, I do have a problem with a couple of the joints. This thigh swivel is loose as hell. I mean, it just kind of flops if you have it in, well, if you try to get it into an action pose. And that's kind of the same for the boot swivel, too. It's a little bit loose. So this leg in general likes to get out of alignment when I'm trying to pose it. Not that you can get a lot of action poses, because the outward movement of the hips, that's about it. And that's not the skirt piece holding that up either. You can slide it up out of the way. It still doesn't want to go. And this is probably just a personal pet peeve or something. They made the boots gold all the way this time. On the first one, when we get to comparison, you'll see it. The cuff was gold, the boot was blue, but they made the whole boot gold this time. I kind of wish they had done that with the hand. And I think, aesthetically speaking, they did that so the gauntlet would stand out more. Your eye would be drawn to it because it looks different from the rest of the costume. If they had made this gold, it would have kind of blended in. But that doesn't change the fact that I would have liked to seen that gold. And then one final thing. It's like I'm griping about the whole thing. The figure looks like a badass, but then you get to moving it, and it's kind of weird. This piece, the collar piece, is a separate piece, and it's pegged here and here. And if it comes off the pegs, it floats all around. And you have to find where the peg holes are. What I'm probably going to eventually do because this is a pain in the ass, is glue the pegs in. That way it's down, you try to raise the arm, and it also punches the collar up. Now for articulation, there's a ball at the top of the neck on a hinge, so you can look up, you can look down. No tilt, there is swivel. Hinge and swivel at the shoulder, comes up to there, swivels around, but like I said, you get to the collar, it pops it off. Single hinge at the elbow, the gauntlet runs into the bicep, so you can't get much past that. And it's worse on the Infinity Gauntlet side because the gauntlet is bigger, so it runs into it about right there. Hinge and swivel at the wrist, swivel, hinge. Hinge in the torso, you get one click forward. Nothing back because of this gold spine. Hips are on some kind of ball. You can push the skirt up, and it does come up forward most of the way. Goes back, none. Swivel at the thigh. Double knee, big figure, so it comes up to about right there. And you can see, as I pushed up, the plastic stretches right there. It slams into the joint and then tries to pooch out a little bit right there. I haven't been it on this side, but if you push and you come back down, you can see it right there. Swivel at the boot, hinge at the ankle, goes back, goes forward, and then forward facing pin for rocker. For accessories, Thanos comes with an alternate head. This is his mean mug. This is the price of admission here. I like the smiling face, but in my head, I usually think of Thanos as,
I am gonna kick the universe's ass.
and to switch that out, that pops off easy enough. The other one pops on, not a problem at all, and yeah, that looks really good. And then besides the Infinity Gauntlet, which, like I said, looks great, he comes with an alternate left hand. You pull out the hand, you pull the upper part of the glove off, the cuff goes on, and then the hand just plugs in. Now, you have to push until it pops. The first few times I did this, I pushed, I thought it popped, it kept falling out on me. I said some bad words, and then I figured out I wasn't pushing hard enough, so I cussed myself after that. But that looks good too. I kinda wish that was a fist. I'm just a fist kind of guy. That's weird. For comparison, here he is with the first Build-A-Figure. My setup here makes it almost look black, but it's a dark, 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 super dark blue. Bluish gray. Almost black. But I kind of like the skin tone on the original Build-A-Figure better. And then I like the differences in the eyes. I like options, but if I had a choice, I would go with the black eyes with the white dot in it. It makes it look a little bit more cosmic. But the mean mug wins. Again. Here he is with the more recent Marvel Legends Adam Warlock. Warlock's on the Bucky Cat body. That's been reused a lot, so this gives you an idea of just how big Thanos is. And then here he is with the Marvel Legends Nova. And it wasn't until I pulled this figure out that I realized that Nova was my first video on YouTube. Let's take a quick look at that one.
Okay, guys, really quick.
Oh my god, this is terrible.
If you have the Bucky Cat body,
Get
or,
to the point.
Black Panther,
Oh,
Hawkeye,
man.
you know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't recommend going back and watching that one. I went back and watched it and annoyed myself. So at the end of the day, I feel like this is totally worth it. It's a Walmart exclusive, yes, so it may be harder for some people to track down, but for the 20 bucks that I paid for it, big hunk of plastic, nicely painted for the most part. There is some scuffs. Looks great on the shelf. I like the more classic colors. I like the mean mug. I like the Infinity Gauntlet. I like that they put this out to push Infinity War a little bit more. They already had the mold. I can see why they're doing this. It kind of makes me regret buying all the pieces I needed for the original Build-A-Figure. Who can predict this kind of stuff? I mean, who knew that we'd see him again on down the road? Full well knowing that he was going to be the big bad for several years in the MCU. Yeah. Probably should have seen this one coming. But this one knocks the other one off the shelf. I don't know what I'm going to do with that old one. Maybe use parts for a Parademon for my Secret 6 display. Who knows? This one wins out completely. Of course, this review lasted longer than I thought it would. I ended up dragging this one out, which is essentially same sculpt, different color, way longer than I planned to. That's the way this channel goes. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe.
I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.